Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 Lexus RX500h F Sport. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This RX is finished off in caviar and it has an MSRP just over $66,000. Now this is powered by the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo paired to that hybrid system. It's also paired to the 6-speed automatic, and it pumps out 366 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,700-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in just shy of 6 seconds. It has a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons. You'll expect to see around 27 miles per gallon in the city, 28 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.2 inches. Its overall length is 192.5. It has a width of 75.6, a height of 67.3, and its ground clearance measures in just over 8 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, you'll notice this model is pretty much blacked out, which gives it a really nice vibe. Now, up front, there's the Lexus logo, which is also the forward sensor. There's plenty of cutouts, provide a lot of cooling to all the components up front. And you'll notice too, with the hourglass design, it doesn't have that traditional surround. So it's a little bit more integrated up front. There's also a really neat texture on this front section here at the top. Now this is also equipped with LEDs for the headlights, DRLs, turn signals, as well as the fog lights that are tucked away in the lower section. There's also some more trim accents just above those fog lights, a brushed accent right in the middle there. And then you'll notice that the hood lines actually come all the way down to the top of that bumper there and continue down the hood to the opposite side. Gives it a really nice front end look. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a set of matte black wheels. Perfect combo with the caviar. You'll notice the blacked out Lexus calipers as well. There's really nice indentations for the front and rear fender arches there, as well as the body colored mirror caps with the turn signal. Full moonroof up top with gloss black for the roof racks, and then you'll notice the black chrome for the window trim, which gives it a really nice subtle touch. There's also this swooping line in the rear of the door that goes all the way back to the F Sport badge up front, and then just really nice lines coming to the back. Now you'll notice this has a body colored spoiler with the third brake light. Wiper blade is tucked up nicely away, so it gives it a seamless look. There's also LEDs for the lights in back. There's the backup camera, all the parking sensors, some more cutouts here in the lower section. This can also tow right around 3,500 pounds. If you needed to hook up a small trailer, you could. And then there's 3 different ways to gain access to the cargo. You can use the button up underneath, you can use the key fob where we just have that control in the bottom, or you can use the kick sensor. So you have that foot activated lift there. So if your hands are full, you can easily do that. Now, once in back, you'll notice there's the cover here, so you can use that as needed. Plenty of space along with some tie downs. There's also a little bit of storage with the spare tire underneath the floor. And then over on this left side, you can use these controls to fold down the seats. There's also this hook here where you can place some bags or groceries, as well as a 12 volt. And with the seats folded down, that gives you a lot more interior space for any items that you have. And then you also have the normal controls up top, so you can push on those to close that lift gate or lock the vehicle as well. Now, as we work our way to the back, we do have the proximity door handles. Now, for this RX model, this door handle is actually fixed. So you just reach in, push on the electronic button on the back side, and that's how you can open up this door. Where we have a very nice design for the door panel. There's this suede surrounding one speaker. There's also the electronic release. If you need to pull it this way, that is the emergency release, where you just pull that twice. And then you have more storage in the lower section. And then a really nice design for the leather and Alcantara seats here. You'll notice those on the inserts. At my height, 5'10", I have a good bit of space as well. There's also storage pockets. You have your vents along with temperature and some auxiliaries. And then I have maybe a ½ inch or so of headroom, but it's pretty comfortable. Hopefully you can tell too, I have this seat reclined all of the way. So you have a lot more relaxation in the back of this SUV by being able to do that. And then right in the middle, there's the armrest. You have cup holders on the front section, and then you have additional storage on the back section there. And then it's pretty easy to see. You do have this massive pillar right there, but you have large cargo windows too. And there's also no bulge in the middle, very, very slight. So if you have a middle seat passenger, it's not going to take up most of their leg room. Now, as we work our way up front, the door panel is pretty much the same. You have all of your side mirror adjustments, which are power folding, window controls, same release, and additional storage. And then the automatic front seats, which have F Sport up in the headrest, along with the rest of the leather and suede there. F Sport is also down on the door sill there. And then there's the solid and perforated leather steering wheel with the F Sport badge. Let's start this up, where on the right side, you'll notice cruise along with the lane keeping assist. There's volume on this side. And then we have arrows and these controls on both sides. So if I just push on one of these arrows here, you'll notice that this is showing us what that control is. You can also push on the lower section to change it. Now we have mode and tuning along with audio. If I push on it again, now we have phone and seek and track. Now for the controls on the right side of the steering wheel, this is how you can get to your following distance along with your mode. So your drive assist mode, you can turn that on or off. There's 2 blanks for that one. And then if I push on that button again, now we have 2 blanks up top and then your display to the left and the right. So if I go back in and turn the head-up display on now, and we use that control on the right side of the steering wheel, now we can see everything. Hopefully you can still see that, where we can go through the displays. So you can look at your energy, your monitor, you have audio, boost gauge, your G-force meter, you have your gear position, as well as a blank page, and then fuel consumption as well. So that way you can go through that. You can also adjust the height of that head-up display too. And then you have those 2 other controls, following distance, and your cruise control there. And then if we go to the left, we can go through everything that I just showed. For the rest of the gauge cluster setup though, you'll notice that we have the charge, power, and eco in the middle, fuel on the right side, engine temperature on the left, and a few other vitals that you can go through. Now on this left side, there's a fuel cap release along with your liftgate release, a little bit of storage in the lower section. There's memory seating adjustments, you have your trip odometers, dimmer switches, 1 air vent there. And then you'll notice there's a little bit of storage on the back side here, but we do have the upgraded infotainment system. So you can get into the navigation along with your music, there's your phone, and then you have different driving modes that you can get into. There's your driver assistance with a lot of different standard safety features that you can turn on and off. You also have this active sound control, your energy flow, all-wheel drive system, you can go through all of that. And then you have a lot of general information to set this up the way that you would like to. Now, still within this screen, we have a shortcut to some of the climate adjustments. If you push on these 6 squares, you can go through your frequently used, your convenience, your head-up display, so you can turn that on and off. And then you also have the different driving modes. Now you can also control the rear climates from up front as well. And then you can go through your temperature dials when you have the fan on here. You have those on both sides, where you'd like the air to go, and all of that. There's your volume along with defrosters. You have air vents underneath that. A little bit of storage with some auxiliaries. There's also additional auxiliaries, wireless charging, and more storage space underneath here. You have 2 cup holders. If you push on one of these, however, you can actually raise and lower the front cup holder. So depending on the size drink that you have, interesting to see. If we put this into reverse, you have the backup camera with the guidelines, and then we have drive. From there, just pull it straight back. That's how you can use the paddles, and then park is located up front. Now there's traction control, auto hold, you have the e-brake, and when you push on this Christmas tree here, this is how you can get into an off-road setting. So you'll notice that over on the left side there. And then with the armrest, you can open this up 2 different ways. So from the driver or passenger side, where you have a good bit of space. There's also more storage in the glove box. And then up top you have garage door buttons, and then you also get a sunglass holder and the controls for the sunshade and that sunroof. And then here's a look at visibility. A lot easier to see around that pillar from up front, especially with those windows in the back. And then you can easily see over that left side as well. As we set off behind the wheel now for this RX500h F Sport, this is only the second one that I've ever checked out and reviewed. So it's a really neat vehicle, one that I just don't see that often at the dealerships. So I think they're very popular, maybe hard to get, I'm not quite sure. But this is a really good blend between having a luxury focused SUV, but giving you some of that F Sport performance. Now with this Model 2, we can go into some of the different driving modes. So let's put it into sport mode, where the tach is actually going to change, or the entire gauge cluster will change, where we have the RPM displayed at the very top. And then from second gear, here we go. With a mild acceleration, the paddles are very responsive. I haven't been around this enough to remember, but they seem to react as soon as you push on them you are into that next gear. So the driving modes for this model are just going to modulate that throttle response. So just depending on the driving that you are doing for the day, you have some reactive paddles here. So if you're not looking for really a sporty SUV, this is going to give you some of those sporty characteristics with that F Sport package. So it doesn't add any horsepower or anything like that, but it's going to give you the suspension just to make this handle even some back roads a little bit better. It's an SUV, it's not a vehicle you're going to take corners with very quickly, but it's still something that you could get on some back roads and just have a better handling SUV. But as far as driving it goes, these seats are very comfortable. I like the support that they have. It's a very quiet vehicle. It's what you'd expect from a Lexus. Being a luxury brand like this, it's going to offer you a comfortable ride. We also have some very thin pillars along with the additional glass on both sides, so you can see around your side mirrors a little bit more. And then it's not all that hard to see out of the back. The headrests aren't really in my way, and the size of those pillars, they're not really all that bad. I can quickly look over both shoulders and easily see. So visibility is not really a concern. And it's very nice. I like that we have a good bit of technology, but it's also easy to go through it at the same time. And then with a mild acceleration, we are back up to speed. You have a good size too. This is the larger of the, or at least for the RX, it's the largest RX model. So you have a good bit of interior space. You can go with larger Lexus SUVs if you would like to, like the TX or the GX, even the LX, which is a lot larger than this. So for kind of a middle of the sizing for the Lexus lineup, it's still going to be a practical vehicle. It's not a jumbo vehicle, but it gives you a good bit of space. And while we're still in sport mode, second gear, here we go. And we are up to speed. It is neat that the gauge cluster will change to show you a little bit more of a sporty view. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for this RX500. Really nice interior. I like the upgrades that this model has received. The larger infotainment system is an option for this model, so you can get that as needed. But it's a really nice place to be. We don't have quite a fully loaded RX model, but we do have some options just to give it a nice look. So you can throw on a few other options just depending on what you would like. And it is a smooth driving vehicle. This would be something that you could daily drive. You can rack up the miles on. We do have that hybrid system, so that is going to give you a little bit more power in the lower RPM range, just to kind of get up moving a little bit quicker. There's no settings to have the hybrid system used as is. That's kind of automatic in the background, where when you start it up or in parking lot situations, it'll utilize a little bit more of that hybrid system. If we go into normal, you can see your charge, eco, and power. That's all in the background. This isn't a plug-in or anything like that. So if you're looking for, again, more of a simple vehicle, you don't have to mess with any of the driving modes aside from your eco and sport. You can let that hybrid system work in the background, which I think is really neat. But it's definitely going to give you more get up and go and then the slower speed. So it's a really nice system to have for a model like this, and it's going to give you a lot better MPG. So for having an SUV, you can get some really good MPG numbers. And then as far as turning goes, it's a pretty tight circle, so we were easily able to do that without having to back up. And then, like I mentioned earlier with visibility, it's very easy to see all around here. And then with that hybrid power, we can get back up to speed here as we're merging into traffic. And we are back up. So it's a great option. Again, something you can daily drive, you can have for several years and just be comfortable in this F Sport model. That is going to wrap it up for the RX500h F Sport. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.